Welcome to Trading Lounge in the US indices, and starting with the S&P 500 here, and also starting where we left off last time as well. So we're basically looking for a top here, and we're looking at this as a 5-wave sequence to the downside. And then we were looking for a correction move. We thought this may be it here, but then we had this move in here, so we could label this wave B, and looking for wave C up here for this top. So this was the 2830 was the 61.8% retracement level, and also it's the top of group 1. So I know with the number 3 here, because it's just 1, 2, 3, which is part of the minor trading level here, 8. So this is the closest largest number, and this is group 1 here, 1, 2, and 3. If we get a tested support on this, then we always go long from that point. And in this case, we were on top of the 61.8% mark, so we were looking at being long once that established support there. So the count here is wrong, but the trade trigger has triggered us long here, and we can move our stop up to just above break even there. And we had this one here, which we would have brought down to this one here, so we don't need this one here for the time being. So we need to go back and revisit this scenario here. So I'm just going to go back to the daily chart. We've got two counts, as you know, one bearish, one bullish. Let me just fix this up. So I'm still going to go one more move up into this little 5-wave sequence here to give this here. If this is not the top of wave B at this particular point, then we're going to be moving over to the more bullish count at that point. We just need to give it a bit more space, but also too, as you can imagine, this is the old high over here, so there's going to be some sort of reaction from that particular point there as well. But we still want to count 5 waves up for this particular move through here. And on the 4-hour chart here, from this wave 4 here, this is the only way that it can be counted. So I'm giving it basically one more chance. And in fact, this wave 3 can be sitting over here, which it is on the NASDAQ. But I'll just leave it there because we had it there. But we're just looking for this little 5-wave sequence to the upside here, and we'll look at that in a moment. But on the bullish side of things, if I just go to our bullish chart here, our bullish chart was there's 2 bullish charts, but this is just one of them here. One of them has got this as a triangle pattern here, finishing as wave 4, an A and a B and a C and a D and E here, and the other one can have wave 4 sitting on wave C here. So in this case, we've always been looking for the move to the upside here, and in this case we look for wave 1 here, wave 2 here, and then looking at all of this here, continuing the same count as wave 1 here, and just wave 2 being a little bit shorter. Normally we would look for wave 2 being roughly back to the 61.8% mark here, but you know, the 61.8% mark is okay in the first wave 1 and wave 2, but we've already got wave 1 and wave 2 here, and then wave 1 and 2 here. So the market can be moving quicker to the upside in that instance. So even in this case here, if I can just remove that here, once you start getting into the third of the third of the third sort of wave structure, then it can pull back even less because it's becoming into a more powerful structure. So in this case here, if we had this as wave 2 here, and this is wave 2 here, and this is wave 2 here, then we would expect a strong move in the next move here. So in this case here, if we were looking for 5 waves up, and then an A and a B and a C back, say 50-60%, but we know that it's been operating sort of at 40%, so we'll look for 40%, but then this is where the gaps can occur in this space here. So we will be really diligent. Don't need that one there because we're already long here, but this is where it can really start gapping here. So we're either going to have a top in place here, or we're going to have a small pullback, and then we're going to move up strongly from that point. So yeah, very interesting point within all of this here. So we're going to be playing for both of them here, so don't worry about that. We're not going to be fixed on one side. The Elliott wave is fantastic and very helpful for understanding patterns and trends, but at some stages within all of that it can get a bit complicated. So the trade signals are more important, the setups are more important than anything else, unless we have got a very clear wave count. Yeah, that's sort of it in a way. So I'll just save this here because that's our bullish count, so I'll be doing that again. And that's just the 2-hour chart, which is bullish as well. So once again, in this one here, we'll just be looking for wave 1 up here and wave 2 to pull back here. So our main focus at the moment, though, is really sort of understanding the 5-wave structure within this point here. So we'll either have something like this and up, or we'll just be on the bearish count. We'll obviously be having something move down from that point. So in this little move up through here, we're looking for 5 waves within that structure. So I'll just go to the tick chart here. Okay, it's good enough. So from the low on the tick chart here, 100 ticks, just not one tick, 100, and so it appears we've got wave 1 to here and wave 2 to here, and it's a little bit sort of odd, but 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here, and then an extended 5th wave up in terms of 1 and 2 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 here and 4. So we've still got, in this case, I can't draw on this side of the tick chart, but wave 5 here, and then wave 4, and then wave 5 to move up a little bit higher here. So I don't think this trend here is finished just yet. Yeah, so but certainly move your stops up to break even, or if not, a little bit of profit at that stage. The NASDAQ, so once again on the, if I look at if we look at this in terms of having a top in play as wave B here in the same as the SP 500, we're looking for the same little 5 waves structure to the upside here. I mean, it looks quite natural to put wave 3 here and wave 4 here and wave 5 over here for this little structure here, but I've sort of pulled this apart here, and I think it's a better fit having this going a little bit higher here. But make no mistake, at 7,500, well, the 7,000 is not that important, it's the 500 that's important. We're definitely going to be seeing corrective patterns here. So any trade to the upside here would have the 500 as the target area here. Okay, so I think, let's see what I've done here now. Okay, so this was the old count that I've had. So wave 1 and 2 here, and then wave 3 here and 4 here, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 to come up to here. But I think it can go, that's the conservative count at that particular point there. I don't think I've done anything on the tick chart here. Just have a check. Oh yes, I have, by the looks of it. So yeah, right, so looking from the low here, wave 1 here, ABC for wave 2, that's clear. This is clear that it's a nice 3rd wave coming up here, but from this wave 2 here, I think it's all the way up here, and the reason for that is having wave 1 here and wave 2 here, and I have pulled this apart within here. So wave 1 and 2 here, so just splitting hairs, I don't even know if it's sort of worth it, but from wave 2 here would have wave 1, 2 here, and then would have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 for the 3rd wave, the 4th wave, and the 5th wave here. So that would give us 5 waves from wave 2 to wave 3 here, to this point here, and then wave 4 here, and then building up from that point there, which gets a little bit sort of tricky here. It looks like we've got extended 5th wave coming into here, but I wouldn't be surprised if we even go up further in terms of 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, and then this counting this as a 3rd wave here. We're looking at this market wants to extend higher, but this 7,500 will give us a really good setup here too, in case I'm wrong here, which is really great. So so we're still looking for the fifth wave here of the third, then the fourth, and then the fifth wave here. But if I just go back to the hourly chart for a moment here, just for a look, I don't need all of that. So in fact, what I'll do is I'll just go to a bullish count now. So this bullish count that I've got here, wave 3 here, an A wave and a B wave and a C wave, is once again, it's possible to have this wave C as the low, so that wave 4 can go here. And it's also possible to have this as a C and a D and an E here. Both fit quite nicely and will only be resolved much later in the trend up there. But the other thing too is that normally when I get support, I know there's some stocks and other indices, when we get support on this medium level here, 6,500, then this is the halfway mark between 5,000 and 8,000. And when we get support on this level here, nice tested support, then we look for our target at 8,000 here, and that's pretty much what we're doing now. And even between these two levels here, the 70, I think it's 72.50 is the actual halfway mark there, and we've got support on that now as well, so to me this is all pointing upwards really. So my little blue waves have gone from here, but I'll just remove those there. Can use those a bit later. So in this case, we can look at this as wave 1 here and wave 2 here and wave 1 and wave 2 here. And then the little 5 waves that we're looking at the moment with the SP500 and this market will take us here. So this can be a top here, remember that, but also at the same time, this can be the count as well, where we have wave 1 here and wave 2. So the thing is that we just need to prepare for both. So this little move up through here, once this 5 waves is completed here, we'll either be moving down from that point here, or we're going to be left with top of wave 3 here, wave 4 and wave 5. So we're going to have the first high above the level here. That's going to be our whatever happens, that's going to be our reference point here, and we can use that as a trigger to go long at that point. We can also bring it down to the next high as well, and we can also bring it down to here as well. We could also bring it down to here as well, depending on how I see this particular structure here unfolding as well, but I'll just leave it on the second high here, and that line going through taking these two highs is also a trigger. But basically, once we've got the ABC here, then any support after that on the 7,500 will trigger long trades and will be long again from that point there. That's the main gist of the strategy really, but we have to wait for this 5 wave structure to finish here. But the other, like I said before, the good news about all of this too is that once this top gets in play here, the market has to move down from that point, a fair way down, or if it does this here, then we're in a bullish. Then we know that we're in a bullish trend here, and this would line up with India and some of the other markets as well. So yeah, so let's just see how we go. That's pretty much it really. Good. So just to recap here, I've got this as wave 4 here, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here, or the other count that I've got, which I think is correct, is having wave 3 here, wave 4 here, and then wave 5 up here a little bit higher. But either way, if you're trading long, then the 7,500 is the target. And yes, it can go higher, but we don't need to worry about that too much, because we want to see what happens here. We want to see, this is the normal, the arrival, the reaction in 3 waves, and then 5 waves above the level. This will be in 5 waves. I'll just draw that in, 3, 4, 5. And then we'll see the A, the B, and the C here. And then it doesn't matter, these will be our triggers to go long again, if that's going to be the case. We will go short if that after we've got 1, 2, 3 here, and then we've got 4 here for the retest, then we can go short from here as well. But we need those 3 in there, and then look, hoping that will be the retest. And we'll work that out when we get to that point. But we'll be long or short from around this level here. So don't lose any money in here. Just get to this level here. If you want to stay long, then keep a tight stop in that. I'll just look at Amazon here for a moment, just on this is a chart that we've been working along with the 1 hour chart, and we've been looking at this trend moving up through here. We've spoken all about all of this here previously many times, and then we're looking wave 4s in, and we're looking for this 5-wave structure up here. So I'm just sort of looking at this as wave 1 and 2 in here, then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for the 3rd wave, and a 4th and a 5th. We want to be taking that high out here. That's what we'd be looking at there. So I don't know if that's going to extend to go up to the 2000. I would imagine it would, but yeah, this number 18 here, number 8, has normally got a strong pull on the markets, but it certainly looks like we've got support there. And also too, just on a subtle level, we've got group 1 here, so 1830, and we're above that. So if I was trading that, then I would be long based on that. Okay, thanks for tuning in, much appreciated. And just one more little thing too, our notifications that go out for the trades and all the charts and things is the third-party application called Push Crew. They're having problems with that. They're doing their best to resolve it. Once it's back on track, then which should be later this week, hopefully, then we'll put those notifications back out again. Sorry about that, but it's out of my hands. Cheers.